What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We are doing a prediction video today. Prediction for Shellder and Cloyster, the bivalve Pokemon. Have no idea what that means, but that's what it's called, the bivalve Pokemon. Alright, let's look at the stats for Shellder. Shellder has 100 defense, that's his best stat. Attack stat 65, so that's pretty good. Special is 45, not bad. Speed is 40, and HP is 30. Actually, speed isn't bad considering the fact it's a shell. It's a clam. So not too bad at all. So that's our stats there. We do have one glaring weakness, and that's our HP. Speed can be, but I don't think speed is that much of a weakness. We've definitely done better with worse Pokemon, with worse speed than this. Let's move on to Cloyster. Cloyster has 180 defense. It's the best defense stat in the game. So very good defense for this Pokemon. We get a 95 attack, solid. Special is solid, so all three of those are pretty good. They're going to coincide with each other. So our defense is pretty solid across the board. So in Gen 1, if you don't know this, special is just one stat, and that covers your special attack and defense. In future generations, they do special attack and special defense. So that's why there's two numbers there, but if you look at the bottom where it says the Pokemon special base stat in Gen 1 was 85. So we're looking at a Pokemon with just special with 85. Speed is 70, so not bad for, like I said, a clam. And then HP is 50. So our weakest stat is HP, so that's why our defense and special is so high, is to mitigate our low HP. Okay, let's move on to the level up moveset for this Pokemon. Now we're looking at the level up moveset for Shellder. Okay, so keep that in mind. We start off with Tackle, and we also start off with Withdrawal. Tackle ain't too bad. It's 35 power, 95% accurate, so it doesn't do much. But it's got a lot of power points. So we don't have to heal as much. Withdrawal actually just what it does is it just ups your defense. So not too bad. It actually helps us later with the badge boost. So that'll be very useful. We also get Supersonic at level 18. Now, to get through Brock, we're probably going to need to have Supersonic. So we have to at least get to level 18 to get through Brock. Okay? Now, I want to go ahead and tell the glaring problem with this Pokemon. Cloyster and Shellder have are in the slow level up group. And when I say slow, I mean very slow. Like, you got to level 8, you have to get 2,000 experience points for level 8 alone. You have to get a lot of experience points for this Pokemon just to gain a level. So it takes a lot of time. It sets you back a little bit. So we have to at least get to level 18 before we're going to have a chance to take on Brock. He's going to resist Tackle. Withdrawal will help us because it will up our defense. Supersonic will confuse him. So that's what's going to help us out, is Supersonic's going to mitigate the fact that our Tackle is going to do nothing to him. And we can use Withdrawal to up our own defense and just kind of stall out the game. I guess is the best way to stall out the battle with Brock. After Brock, I don't think we're going to have too many issues. At level 23, we get Clamp. Clamp is the water equivalent of Wrap. 35 base power, but it is stab, so it's about 52.5 base power. The problem with this move is its accuracy is not always great. It's 75% accurate, and there's only 10 power points, so you run out of power points pretty darn quick. So, yeah, level 30, we get Aurora Beam. Aurora Beam is 65 base power, 100% accurate. Now, if we just played through a Shellder, this would not be considered a stab move. But around this time when we get Aurora Beam, and we can probably evolve into Cloyster. Cloyster evolves via Water Stone. Okay? So we have to have the Water Stone before we're able to evolve. And when we get the Water Stone, we're pretty much right in the same place where we can get Ice Beam. So Aurora Beam may just be kept for coverage to have an extra move until we get Bubble or Surf. But we're probably going to move on from Aurora Beam pretty quick and go to Ice Beam. And it's not showing it here, but if you look at it in bold, it's Clamp. That's because it's stab. When you evolve to Cloyster, Aurora Beam and Ice Beam become bold because Cloyster is water ice. Okay? So Leer will probably not be useful, but Ice Beam definitely will. So looking at this, not a bad level up moveset. Let's look at the TM moveset. The TM moveset for this Pokemon, not a lot of coverage here. So let's go over all of them. Toxic, Takedown, Double Edge. Those moves are... Double Edge and Takedown are kind of like just in case, like circumstantial, like we might need a move that can do damage. If it's something resisted to us, we can get a move that can do at least 100 base power, but probably won't use those in this playthrough. Bubble Beam and Water Gun, we can get both of them pretty early in the game. Water Gun is with stab, it's 60 base power. Bubble Beam with stab is 90. What is that? 92.5. So it's 97. It's 32.5 added to it with stab. Both of them 100% accurate. Pretty good power points too, 20 and 25. Ice Beam and Blizzard, like I said, if it was Shellder, it would not be a stab move. It'd be a move we can do, but it's not stab. Cloister, those become bolted and stab moves. So those are great moves. Blizzard, 120 base power with stab. You're looking at 180 base power move with 9% accurate. The only downside of that move is the accuracy and the power points. So you can run out of power points very quick if you miss 1 or 2 times. Teleport, not going to use. Mimic will help us if we need to mimic and move off the opposition to get by somebody like an Elite 4. But probably not. I think the moves we have are going to be sufficient enough. Double Team is outlawed. Reflect won't be used in this playthrough. Bide will be very useful early, because Bide will give us an extra attack on top of Tackle until we get Clamp or Water Gun. But it also is helpful against some Pokemon, because if we get Sand Attack, it does skip over status conditions. So Self-Destruct we can't use. Swift we could use. We're probably not going to in this playthrough, but we could use if we wanted to. Rest is a move we could use, but we're not going to. Explosion we can't use, because as soon as we use Explosion, we kill ourselves and knock ourselves out in battle. Try Attack will be used, because for some reason this Pokemon doesn't get Body Slam. It would be great if it could, but we don't get Body Slam. 80 base power, 100% accurate, does damage of Electric, Fire, and Ice. And then the last move we can really... I guess I shouldn't skip over Substitute. Substitute, I never used it, but basically what it does, it puts a little doll out in front of you, and the doll will take all your damage. Until the doll is knocked out, no damage will be dealt to you. And Surf is a 95 base power water move that is stab. So 95, I'm doing the math here, sorry. It's a 140 some base power move. 100% accurate. Be very useful. That will replace Water Gun and Bubble Beam. And then we're looking at our inset move is Harden, Surf, Ice Beam or Blizzard, and Try Attack or Mimic. It's going to be one of those two. It just depends. It'll probably be Try Attack until we come across someone we have to mimic something to win the battle, because Ice and Water won't be effective. I don't know who in the Elite Four that would be. Maybe Lorelei. I don't know. Maybe Lorelei, possibly. If you go against Agatha, Surf and Ice Beam should be just fine against Agatha. And if I'm looking at all the Elite Four members, I'll talk about that in the prediction part. And the part where I actually do the prediction. So let's go over the rules of the game. You can only use the primary Pokemon in battle. So that means, for us, that means Shellder and Cloister. You can use other Pokemon for HMs and do catch Pokemon for HMs. The running clock with 3 exceptions. The 3 exceptions that we have is 1, Lieutenant Surge's Gym. 2, if we get over encumbered with stuff and we have to do some errands. Usually this happens around Celadon City, where we can go to the Pokemart, buy some moves, buy some waters, trade items for things, go get Fly, things like that. That's usually when this timer gets paused. And what's the other one? The other one is, we're not going to do that in this, which it's listed. It's not listed here, but you can actually learn Hyper Beam with Cloister as well. We're not going to do it though. But if you need to get Hyper Beam or another move from the Pokemon Rocket Game Corner, you can pause the timer, go sell some stuff, go buy the move, and then start timer back up. You can only get 50 coins at once in Gen 1. In Gen 2, you can do 50 or 500 at a time if you want to. So yeah, but we won't do that in this playthrough. No glitches or exploits, no Pokédoll glitch, no Missingo glitch. We can only use the badge boost, because if someone leers us, we really can't help it. No items are allowed in battle except for one, that's Ethers. So the Ether, I've modified that, because if I don't apply the Ether on time, that can be based on my negligence, not based on the Pokemon's inability to do something. So I don't like to have the Pokemon be punished for my stupidity, basically. Alright, and while I'm here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, it's JD's Nerdverse, and Instagram, it's JD's_nerd_verse. Really helps the channel. I'm almost at 200 subscribers. That'd be a really nice milestone to get to 200. I'm getting a lot of hours viewed because I have a lot of shorts, but the subscribers is really where the target is at. So let's go back up to this slide and we'll go over the prediction I have to make for this. So my prediction, I honestly was hoping that this would be like a Dugong versus Cloister or the kind of thing, where I could see who can do the game faster. However, the problem is Dugong is not in a slow level up group. Cloister and Shellder are, whereas Steel and Dugong were not. So I think the problem with this Pokemon is going to be the fact that I have to grind so much just to get a level out of them. I'm going to have to do that. There's going to be so much grinding early. You cannot be. If we had Cloyster's moveset to start the game, it'd be different. Cloyster, I think, starts with Aurora Beam, so that wouldn't be an issue. He starts with Aurora Beam. You don't have to grind and get extra levels. You're going to be super effective against Brock. You don't have to fight every battle. We have to fight every battle and then grind, and probably have to fight a good 100+ Pokemon just to get the experience to get to level 18 before we can progress to the game and do other things. So that's going to be a huge hurdle for this Pokemon. I think after we get the Brock, though, I think we're going to be fine. Because after we get Brock, we have access to a lot of good moves. We have access to Stab, a lot of those things. But Brock is going to be the crux. And we have actual trainers to battle to get experience rather than battling just normal Pokemon. So that's where I think we're going to have issues. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. So how long do I think it's going to take? Well, let's see. Dugong took 1 hour and 16 minutes. I think with as much grinding as we got to do early, we're going to aim for 1 hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25 minutes. That's the target. I think it can get done. It's not like this Pokemon doesn't have a lot of things to mitigate its downfalls. But I think that early part of the game is what's going to be what holds up Shellder and Cloyster. So that's the big part. I think it's going to be 1 hour and 25, hour and 30 minutes. If it was just Cloyster, I'd have a different opinion. Because Cloyster starts out with a Stab move in Ice. That's very helpful against Brock. But we don't have that. We don't have that luxury today. We have to start with Shellder. And Shellder starts off the game with not the greatest moveset, and he's hindered by a slow level up growth rate. So that's my prediction. Make sure you put your prediction in the comment section down below, and I'll see everyone on Friday. So thanks for stopping by JD's Nerdverse. The playthrough version will be on Friday. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and have a good one. See you.